Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering effect, not withered effect like I said in the pre-show. Today's episode is episode 66, and it's October 12th, 2020, and I am Duds, or Duds versus known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. So, what have you been up to this week, Duds?
Grind. Lots and lots of grind. So I made mention in the pre-show, this episode, while it wasn't on camera, I did, I think, 8 sections on the mountain, which got me to within, I think, one section of halfway completing it.
Yeah, it's a grind.
Yeah, it was an absolute... It's for me to do one section takes about 45 minutes. I think one of the smaller sections only took me 30, which was real nice. But yeah, I'm grinding that mountain out like crazy. I did some work in the shopping district, put some glass balloons up. We talked about this in the pre-show also because we talked about decorating for Halloween, which I thought was a really cool thing to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I put up these glass blocks with lanterns hanging underneath them. I saw it on Reddit, and I thought, you know what, that could be a really cool Halloween decoration. Normally, I just build a giant pumpkin with bank. But I was like, you know what, this will be a little different. And I still plan on decorating the Wither Effect Studio store.
Ooh.
With some cobwebs and pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns and stuff like that.
Yeah, that should be cool.
But other than that, I played aubni's game, swore up and down it was going to kill me, just to find a treasure and not have to fight a single soul.
Ah, the treasure didn't kill you?
Treasure didn't kill me. I was worried. I was like, I'm going to open this barrel and it's going to explode. Watch.
Well, it's good it didn't.
Yeah, no ideas, Aubni. Do not blow us up with barrels.
That'd be wrong. That'd be just wrong.
Yeah. But that's kind of it for my day.
Your week?
Yeah. Week. It all blended in. We're still moving my grandmother in real life. So there's back and forth travels to there, which interrupting my weekdays. And it's like Friday, I got a half day at work, so I rushed home, mowed the yard, and just I basically started my episode Friday, and by Saturday night I was done and threw it out there.
Yeah, I haven't done any recording this. Well, no, I recorded an intro and a time lapse. I actually was able to build one of my towers this week.
Nice.
Yeah, I wasn't able to record till like, I think Friday. Friday I recorded that because I had to gather the resources for the tower.
Mm-hmm.
So many resources, so much blackstone I need.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been to the base recently, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of blackstone.
I have not.
Oh, it's starting to take form now.
Mm-hmm.
I do like to ask the audience about the fog effect I'm doing. I might change it. So if I'm going to change it, I'm going to change it now because of all the glass I have to lay. You can't instant mine glass, which is annoying.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, before I lay all that glass, I better make sure it's right. And same goes with the whole project. I got to make sure I don't put all these blocks down and not like it. So
I'm glad you said that because I've been talking about doing the fog effect on the ceiling of my storage room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's got that hard concrete line in there. And I finally watched the video yesterday where I'm in my storage room and I look up at it. You can't see that hard line in the video.
Yeah.
It's all pitch black.
Not on YouTube.
It's so compressed.
You can see like the glimmer every once in a while of the stars.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you could barely even tell. I was looking at it too, and I was like, man, too bad you can't see it that well because of YouTube. YouTube does make things a little bit darker than it should be.
Right. And I have my brightness up all the way on the game.
Yeah, I turned mine up a little bit more just because of that.
But anyways, you got fog effects getting placed down.
Yeah. I actually got most of the fog, all the fog effect. No, most of it done for where the storages are going to go and where the towers are going to go, all the fog effects, or most of it's done there. Yeah, I got the tower in place. I'm starting to make shape on the bowl, the whole circle. Yeah, I'm starting to come around. I got to just keep putting in circles pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, I measure out this circle's 260 blocks long, or in diameter. So I go on a website that gives me that circle and put it in there. And it's a lot of counting, a lot of numbers, and you got to memorize the numbers, and it can get annoying. If you mess up early you come back around and that block isn't where it's supposed to be, Man, that's pretty frustrating. But so far, I've been doing really good, surprisingly good with these circles.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's going pretty well. I still have a lot to do, and I wasn't able to put an episode out this week, but there will be one this Saturday if I have to gather the resources quicker than usual or not. I have to get an episode out within at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I still have a little bit of Aubni's game to play. Aubni did give me permission to get another map, so I will be able to go back in there, and then possibly we can collab on one of those games because you're playing it now. So that might be fun. But we gotta ask Aubni. We gotta ask the boss. We can tag team this dungeon.
I think he's gonna say it's okay. If I read the rules right, all 13 pages of it.
Yeah,
it's you're allowed to anarchy. I'm allowed to kill you right now and take both those maps for myself.
Yeah, I stole one map. I was like, I don't want to buy this. I'd rather steal it. So I stole it.
I was extremely giddy because you've got the rule where you're not allowed to put keys and treasure and stuff in your shulker or your ender chest.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of have to hide it in the open. And I hid mine. I'm like, you know what? That's a smart spot to hide it because it's right out in the open. But if you're not looking for it, you won't find it.
No. Yeah, mine's in I'll say it. Mine's in a barrel somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. It's in a barrel. It's not in an ender chest.
Mine is in a shulker box.
I'm gonna write that down.
You will never find it.
But besides that, that's pretty much my week. I did get sick, come down with a bad cold yesterday. My son had it, and then I got it. It's not COVID. Don't worry, it's not COVID. Feeling a lot better today, though. Today's the first day I started feeling a lot better. So it's good. I'm able to be here and record.
That reminds me, my episode where I asked you to record a clip for me. Do you remember?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of sick. It's not going to come out good.
Yeah.
And I was like, just give it a shot. If it's bad, I won't use it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't bad, but I still didn't end up using it.
Yeah. You didn't need it?
It was for the travel montage. And I was going to walk into a cave and I was going to play your clip of, hey, you looking at me? And then I was just going to run out of the cave.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem was I couldn't get the stupid replay mod to do the camera timing correctly. No matter what I did with it. Like, I don't know if you saw, but I could have my thing cranked up to 8 times speed, and my guy would still go in slow motion walking. And I'm just like, I just don't understand how this replay mod works.
Yeah, I might have to look at it, see what you're doing. I've had those situations, but I kind of figured it out.
Yeah.
Timing is key for the replay mod. It can be pretty annoying.
So, since I couldn't get the timing correct, I ended up just scrapping that part, which is probably a good thing because I did the wrong world segment instead, and that fits a little bit better.
Yeah.
I'll save your clip for another time.
Yeah, as well.
Anyways, moving on to the news.
Yep.
So we got a notice that 1.16.4 is coming out. We have no clue what it's going to do. They say it's a small update with no game-changing features.
Right.
We're still playing on 1.16.2 on the SMP just because it works. We got replay mod and Optifine. We're not complaining. So I don't even know if we'll go to 1.16.4. I think we'll probably just wait for 1.17.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if replay mod or Optifine is compatible with 1.16.3 yet.
I know Optifine's working on it, but it's not even there yet.
Yeah, that's what we were waiting on.
Mm-hmm.
So now we'll have to wait on Optifine 16.4.
Yep.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, I'm not in any rush. I'm not having any big issues.
Yeah. Like you said, it's the same game. There's no changes.
Yeah. Other than that, we have Minecraft Dungeons has got their December DLC coming out called Howling Peaks. I watched the little trailer for it, and it looks cool as in like they're adding puzzles, kind of like Breath of the Wild, where you have to manipulate the environment to unlock doors and passageways and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds cool.
It does sound cool, so I'll have to take a look at that. Maybe that's one of the things that will push me over the edge to finally go ahead and buy it.
Yeah, kind of like a Tomb Raider-esque.
Yeah.
Just all the puzzles.
Yeah. They didn't tell a lot of detail what was going on, but it definitely looked like you were walking on switches that would move something on the wall. They had air blowing across pathways and stuff.
Yeah, so it's not just running through the dungeon, killing mobs the whole time.
Right.
There's puzzles involved. Yeah, I'd like that a little bit more.
I would too.
Curious if they'll implement that through the whole game or just
That'd be awesome if they did.
maybe each release they do, DLC release, they'll add them a little bit more.
I think adding stuff like puzzles will help the longevity of this game, because I think hack and slash will get really boring after a while.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even when we were playing it, I was starting to get a little bored because, the levels can be repetitive and it'd be nice to throw some puzzles in there every once in a while.
Oh, yeah. Especially puzzles that would take multiple people to figure out.
Right. Yeah, I didn't get to see the trailer for this, but it does sound pretty cool.
Yeah, they've got it up on Minecraft Dungeons Twitter, so you can check it out there.
Okay.
But let's go ahead and move on to listener comments. So listener comments, we got 2 questions that kind of feed off each other. So we're going to turn that into kind of like a 2 to 3 part question and answer. So the first part is from DirtyBlonde655, and they ask, DuDs and Jimbo, what updates would you like to see and not like to see? Personally, I want a farming or end update and did not want a cave or furniture update. I'm not sure about a furniture update. I'll take one if we get something like that. But, I mean, you gotta get tired of sitting in minecarts all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a couch to sit on, being able to build. I mean, I guess they kind of give you your own creativity to make what would be a couch. But you can't sit on it, technically. You could squat on it.
This is true. Watch me bend over on this couch.
I'm going to watch this painting for an hour.
Yeah. And it's always the Karate Kid.
Yep, I watch a Karate Kid.
Or what was it? I was calling it Double Dragons. You remember that old movie from like the 90s?
I remember Double Dragons, yeah.
Yeah, Double Dragons.
The video game. I played the video game.
Yes, that's it.
Super Nintendo, I think. A farming update. They mentioned they wanted a farming update. Now, this would be with just like carrots, potatoes, wheat type of deal.
I don't know, because the second part of the question is from SquareRoot89, and they ask, curious, what would you include in a farming update? So let's do the first part of the question, and what update would you want? What update would you not want?
I kind of wanted the cave update. I felt like it was a good time. I'm very surprised at everything they added. I didn't think it was going to be this big. But yeah, I kind of wanted a cave update. I wanted something in the overworld. If they were going to update anything, not in the end. Because yeah, you're in the overworld a lot more. Feel like, you're only in the end to do resource gathering. It does need an update. But yeah, I was more wanting a cave more than anything.
Yeah.
Something I don't want, I don't know. I'm never like...
Yeah, you're always kind of, the glass is always half full when it comes to Mojang updates.
Exactly. I'm never like negative about an update.
I'm the grumpy one.
I wasn't too happy about the bee update, if anything.
That's true, but you just don't like bees.
Yeah. Any update's a good update in my opinion, but...
Yeah, the bee update really didn't add anything that you play with.
No.
So it kind of was a lost update for you.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. If they put in a wasp update, I do not want that. We'll say that.
Yeah. Insect update in general?
Yeah, no insect update. Or furniture update, I guess, since they mentioned it.
Yeah, I really want an inventory update. I've been saying this for a long time. Feels like half a year now. Inventory update, it's probably one thing that is needed more than caves. I get the argument for caves. I didn't want a cave update, not because I felt caves didn't need an update. They probably did need an update. I didn't want a cave update because I know all the work it takes to light up caves, and I didn't want to have to go through that. And now I'm looking at the fact that caves are ginormous, which means...
Yeah, some of them are huge.
Yeah, which means less resources and more things to light up.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But yeah, I'm kind of like you. I mean... I didn't want the cave update, but I'm not going to complain about the cave update. I'll take it. I'll be grumpy about it, as everyone said last episode. But no, I'm not going to complain about it.
You did get a little bit of an inventory fix, and I think I plan on fixing it piece by piece. I don't think there's going to be like a whole update, considered or
there should be
towards inventory.
There should be, but I'll take what I can get. I'm not a fan of bundles, but it's showing me that Mojang at least knows that inventory needs to be worked on, and they're willing to work on it. So I'm happy with that.
This, what would you include in a farming update question from SquareRoot? Again, farming. When I talk about farming, I think of automatic farms, machines that farm things for me. There is, you can harvest crops.
There you go.
By just picking them from potatoes, wheat, carrots. I don't know if we need any more of those. If anything, maybe combine that food with other foods to make better foods. But besides that, I don't see why we need more farmable vegetables, I guess you call it, crops.
I agree with you. And my farming update would take exactly what you just said and put it on its head, as I was going to say. One, so a farmer villager, when crops get trampled, it cannot fix the crops. It does not have a hoe, right? Or did they add a hoe without me looking?
No, that's Techtopia. They do that.
Right. So that's a big problem, especially now that we have Ravengers that like to trample crops.
Mm-hmm.
I've come up with the mob called the ox, and the ox is there to help hoe the ground for the villager. Maybe it just kind of always constantly rocks back and forth over the crops, nice and gently. So if any farmland gets trampled, it re-hoes it, and the villager knows to walk over there and replant something. And it does a number 2 job of scaring the Ravager away from the crops. Now, it won't attack the Ravager. If it were to attack the Ravager, it should die, because the Ravager being big and beastly and scary is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to have the Ravager at least a little hesitant of the ox because of how big the ox is.
Yeah.
The second thing is, I want, how do I put this? The villagers to be able to take carrots, walk over to the pig pen, understand if they have enough pigs or too little pigs, and feed the carrots to the pigs, so the pigs will have babies if they need more pigs.
Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah, I'd love to be able to have that. Maybe they do the same thing with the wheat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't really do that because the villager picks up wheat and automatically turns it to bread. It's like, why do they do that?
Yeah, I mean, you already have the villagers feeding other villagers.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be that hard for them to feed some animals?
Yeah, obviously you got to put a mob cap in there somehow, where it's like, okay, they already have 5 pigs.
Yeah.
The carrots are not going to the pigs anymore.
Yeah, maybe pig to villager ratio type of deal. Try to keep count.
Yeah. I don't know how you would do it. Like, how many beds are in a village is how many pigs you're allowed to have in a pen or something like that within said village.
Yeah. The ox thing sounds pretty fun, but I would give the farmer a way to hoe the ground regardless. I don't see why they're not able to.
I thought of that too, but then I was like, I wanted to think like Mojang, and they were like, lava boats, no. Strider, yes.
Right.
So I'm like, give the villager a hoe. Mm-mm. Ox, yes.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I never thought of it like that. They've been having fixes for things that are really off the wall nowadays.
Yeah.
But they're a lot of fun. I
mean, there might be a better purpose or a better mob, and it might just be a lot easier to make the village hoe the ground himself, like you said. But I wanted to have a little fun with it, especially considering it's make-believe in my headland. And make-believe in my headland has an ox that will till the ground for you.
Nice.
Yeah, where he stops, I don't know. I don't want an ox just walking 400 blocks in a straight line, tilling every piece of grass. That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be neat to see, though.
It would be. But should we go ahead and move on?
Yeah, might as well.
Thank you, DirtyBlonde655 and SquareRoot89 for those 2 questions. Hopefully we answered. If not, just let us know in the Discord. Speaking of the Discord, this week's Discord ad is from me, Jason. Take it away, me, Jason.
Hey friends, it's me, Jason, and I'm a member of the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to talk to your fellow listeners and give your input into the show. You might even get your question or comment read out on a future episode. Join the Discord today. Link is in the show notes, and I'll see you there. Duds 100% this message.
Alright, thanks me, Jason, for doing the ad for the Discord. If you guys want to do an ad, just talk to me, Jimbo Carl. We'll hook you up with the script. We need more script readers anyways. But while we're on the topic of the Discord is the only place you can vote for Block of the Week. How do you like all these segues, Jimbo? I'm racking them up.
Yeah.
Now, one of these are scripted. Anyways, this week in our Discord, we asked you guys to vote for the following blocks for Jimbo and I to discuss. Your choices were campfire, redstone lamp, scaffolding block.
And the winner this week is... Redstone lamp.
Finally.
Congratulations to you, Redstone lamp. Go over the votes real quick. Campfire had 13 votes. Scaffolding had 18 votes. And Redstone lamp with 25.
Yep.
Pretty average. No landslide or no close calls.
And it's one that I was predicting to turn out that way, which is a first in this last couple weeks.
Yeah. So a few things on the redstone lamp I got. It is crafted with 4 redstone dust and 1 glowstone. Produces a light level 15 when it is powered by redstone. It's not found naturally. It acts like an opaque block. Torches and levers cannot be attached to it. It blocks skylight. Mobs suffocate in it, and it conducts redstone power. That explains the opaque block.
I think you mean torches and levers can be attached to it.
Yeah.
You said they could.
Did I say can't?
You said can't.
Okay. They can.
I knew we were going to get called out on Discord.
It's like a solid block.
Yeah. I saw it. You have it correct in your notes, but you had read it wrong. I was like, we're going to get called out on the Discord. We better fix this now.
I was worried about me saying opaque. Right. That's what I was worried about.
It is a fancy word.
Mm-hmm. That just means it's a solid block. Acts as a solid block.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be mined by hand. So you could pick it up right with your hand. You don't really need a tool. But that's about it for the redstone lamp.
So I had to come up with ways to fix the redstone lamp. And there's one obvious fix everyone knows, and that's dyeable redstone lamps.
Yeah, that's my fix.
I am 100% in league with you here. Dyeable redstone lamp should have been brought to the game a long time ago. And here's my thing. I don't care if they don't emit colored light. I get colored light it's probably the hardest thing to do in Minecraft right now. That's why we're seeing it with the RTX stuff. And that's why the RTX is so cool, is because, hey, we can finally do colored light. Well, I don't care if we can't do colored light. Just let me dye the redstone lamp a different color.
I'd be okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe get that light from the RTX card, not so much from the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care if it emits a yellow light. Just let me make it a blue lamp.
Right.
The other thing was I thought about switching out the glowstone, and what if you use a shroom light, and now you have a different texture redstone lamp.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if doing this would mess up dyeing it, because think about it, if you have 16 redstone lamps, and now you're adding a new texture for a redstone lamp, now you've got 32 redstone lamps, and you used an inrod instead of a glowstone this time. Here's another texture, so now you've got, 40-something, I don't know, math. I'm tired, I can't do that.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But different textures would be really cool. And if different textures was a way to replace dyeable redstone lamps, I would be okay with that too. I get the emitting colored light is really hard. And I know a lot of people are sticklers for the colored lights. If you want colored lights, you got to play Bedrock and need an RTX card and get the fancy graphics, and I'm waving my hands like a lunatic. But that's how you do it. If you want to play simple vanilla Java, it's just not possible right now. So to me, this is the next best thing, is to just have colored blocks that can emit some light.
The only way to do that now is to put a colored stained glass above it or below it, wherever it does shine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna emit that light, but it does give you that
right,
different color feel.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I had to put a sea lantern behind a black glass just so I can get a darker looking light, even though it's not.
Mm-hmm. Gives it a little tint.
Yeah, and the last thing I had was maybe the redstone lamp should ratio the light emitted by the power coming in. So if it's only got power level of 10 coming in, maybe it only releases light level 10.
Okay.
I think that would be really cool. And at the same time, I wouldn't like it because I'm so used to this running a redstone lamp 15 power sources away, and hey, it lights up. We're good. But I know some map makers might like this.
Yeah, a lot of times I don't use redstone lamps too often. If I do, it's mainly on a mob spawner.
Mm-hmm.
Any kind of dungeon spawner. I like to put lamps around it because that could turn it on and off.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that redstone line goes all the way around it.
Mm-hmm.
And, yep, that could definitely mess some things up if that was the case.
Yeah, but I thought it was a good change-up, so I went ahead and wrote it down.
Yeah, it will be different. I haven't really thought about anything for the redstone lamp.
It's such a OG block that coming up with different ways to use it other than the obvious is a little difficult. That's why I was really excited when I came up with the use a different texture.
Mm-hmm.
Like a shroom light changes the texture in general compared to a glowstone or something like that. It's like maybe a sea lantern changes it even more.
Yeah.
So I really like those ideas.
Yeah, I'd like to see something like that. The picture of the redstone lamp for the block of the week, it has a daylight sensor on top of it. That's a really cool way of using the redstone lamp. It's really no redstone at all.
Mm-hmm.
You stick a daylight sensor on top of it, and in the nighttime, bam, you got light. It works. That easy.
I thought about running redstone lamps. Remember how people were saying, well, the roads don't look done or whatever. You need to do some barriers on the exteriors. And I thought about that, and I was going to do redstone lamps all tied to a single daylight sensor. So at night, all the redstone lamps would turn on and light up the road. And then I realized, well, this road's all kinds of wavy and natural. Some spots it's 3 wide, some spots it's 5 wide, some spots it goes from 5 wide to 3 wide, and it's just not a set size. If someone wants to go behind me and make it perfect like that, they can. But all we had were path blocks in the way, and path blocks look okay if you add more to them, but just random path blocks to me just don't look good. So I needed something.
Yeah.
And I might go behind me and just rip out all the road I've done as it is now if I see something better and want to do that. I'm not sold on that design. I just wanted to try something. The shopping district, other than people throwing shops on, kind of feels like it's been neglected. I mean, we have shops popping up, but other than lighting up the land, we haven't really done anything else other than, hey, I'm selling stuff here. So I wanted to at least get a little jump start, maybe have people go, you know what? Yeah, let's do something else right here. Let's make it a community area.
Yeah, I like it.
Like last season, Decoy and Freddy, that whole shopping area was a huge like community area. So
they did most of the work though.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, it looks really good so far. I'm not going to fix your roads behind you though. That's for sure.
They are nothing special.
Going to do that.
Should we go ahead and move on to the main topic for today?
Yeah, let's do it.
So the main topic are some updates to things we saw and questions we had about 117. There's been some tweets, some videos and stuff kind of fully explaining a couple things. The main one to me is copper. Copper needed a lot of explanation. Explanation?
Explanation.
My nose is stuffy. I've got a cough drop in and I just swallowed some chocolate milk.
I just drank my water all wrong. I had to cough there for a second.
Basic human functions we cannot do.
I'm still getting used to drinking water. I'm starting to get used to it now.
Anyways, LadyAgnes put out a tweet saying, we want it to take a really long time for copper to oxidize in Minecraft. I'm curious, approximately how many Minecraft days you think there should be between each oxidation state of the copper block? Now that's important. She says each state of oxidation, not copper to green. So there's obviously several different states in between.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely on the agreement of it needs to take a while.
Yeah.
I think Exumavoid counted in the video it takes 16 Minecraft days to go from full copper to fully green. That's not enough for me.
It's too fast.
Yeah.
I'm right on the same page with you. It looked like there was 2 stages between the full
I think so too.
Oxidize. And they mentioned in the video it gives your build age.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and 16 days is not long enough. That's not age.
Right.
That's not a long time. I would say a month in real life, to be honest, per stage.
I was going to go 50 Minecraft days per stage. So mine would be a little bit short compared to yours. But I only thought of the 50 days because of people who may be wanting and waiting to get in a certain oxidation state.
Yep.
So the other things we need to know is, does it oxidize in chests? Does it have to be placed to oxidize? I assume it has to be placed, but we just don't know. We saw those brushes and the archaeological dig. that was oxidized, and those were definitely in a chest. You just don't leave those laying on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
LadyAgnes did say that you can get it to stay in certain oxidation states. So there's that.
Yeah.
My guess for it to stay in that state, I think you're going to have to rub beeswax on it.
Yeah, some kind of wax. You notice the candles in the deep dungeon or the deep caves. So you know they're going to try to bring in wax. We have the honey block and honeycomb block.
Mm-hmm.
No beeswax yet, but if we were to get wax, you figure it'd be from the bees.
Oh, yeah. More functionality to existing stuff, I'm all for.
Yeah, except for the bee thing. The oxidize.
Mm-hmm.
Now, usually copper will speed up that oxidize if it gets wet.
Mm-hmm.
So like rain, or possibly if you can dip your copper into water, it could speed it up.
So you're saying if you place the copper underground, you won't, or in water or in an ocean or something, you won't have to wait 50 Minecraft days for that oxidation state.
Yeah, it could speed it up a little bit.
Good point. I like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It'd be nice if you could throw it in a cauldron and it would do that too. So it would give more functionality to the cauldron. But I think it's going to be like placing it underwater is going to be the big thing.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good fix for people that want that green copper block.
Good point. I like that.
I do like the idea that you can save that state.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was wondering it. Good thing, there's enough people to ask about it to drive LadyAgnes crazy.
Yes.
For her to tweet about it. So, good job, I guess.
Copper was super interesting when I saw it. And then when I saw it change the state, it immediately dropped from like the number 2 interesting thing on 117 to like dead last. And then the second LadyAgnes tweeted that, hey, no, you can keep it in certain states or whatever, it jumped right back up to like the top. Like I'm more excited for copper now.
Yeah.
Knowing that I've got like 4 different textures of copper I can play with. And they did say that the texture of copper in general is subject to change, just like all the textures in this update are subject to change.
Okay.
So these are not all official. Some might change, some might not change. They did say the mountains in this update are going to change. The mountains we saw were just placeholders. That's why we didn't see a lot of mountains.
Right, and we were asking about that.
Mm-hmm.
We mentioned that, like, we didn't see many mountain formations.
Right.
The cliffs you brought up. Where's the cliffs at? Where are they?
Not a single cliff.
Yeah, I guess they're not done yet. So
yeah, not done yet.
We'll see them when they're ready.
Mm-hmm. So I like that. I mean, the mountains they shown were not bad.
Mm-hmm.
They were very good, especially compared to what we have. They're great compared to what we have.
Yeah, they look good.
But I saw a couple. I'm going to have to go back and find it because I really want to give credit to this Redditor I saw. And they were like, hey, if we're going to do a mountain update, let's do it like this. And it kind of looked like several smaller plateaus that stacked up near each other. And it felt very blocky while looking natural at the same time. And I went, oh my God, that's so good. Because it's still very blank canvas for you to build on and create your own thing. But at the same time, it's like, oh, that just screams Minecraft.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
So I needed to go digging through Reddit to try to find it. And I'll try to remember to put a link in the show for Carl to post it. So that person who put that picture out there will get credit. It's like 4 or 5 days old already. So I'm going to have to go digging hard.
Yeah, there's so many cool ideas on the Minecraft Reddit. I definitely recommend whoever's listening and needs some inspiration. There is a lot out there. I haven't been there lately. Kind of missed that mountain thing.
Oh yeah, and there's so much helpful stuff. Like there's what do they call it? A guide for roof angles, which was really great. There was a guide for archways. And that's basically how I came up with the entire end room. Was I saw this guide for archways, and I was like, I like that archway, and I like that archway. I'm going to design an entire room around these 2 archways. And that's what happened. My wall has those 2 archways on every single wall. And then I just filled in the rest. I was like, okay, well, I need a floating end island here. I need particles floating in the air. I need light sources here. I love the Reddit. The Reddit's a great place to share creativity. Found a couple YouTubers there too.
A lot of talented people out there. You don't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a while, but usually if I'm on Reddit, I'm scrolling for at least an hour, just looking at all the cool things that people can come up with.
Before we jump off copper, I had one more idea, and this struck me while I was in the shower. So, it's raining here a lot. Thunderstorms, all that good jazz. We've got a hurricane in the area, I think.
Great.
Yeah, awesome. But, so we have copper, which is conductive. We don't really have a form of electricity except for lightning. Well, we have lightning rods now, which are also copper. If I build a copper floor, fill it with mobs, and put lightning rod on this copper floor, and the lightning strikes the lightning rod, I think the entire copper floor should be electrified. So if like a creeper is standing on on this copper floor, charge creeper just like that.
Dud, you had me at copper floor. I knew what you were trying to say as soon as you were starting to say it. That's a good idea. That should be, kind of common sense.
It could be a little difficult implementing. So if they did it by you need a lightning rod in a chunk and it only would ignite mobs within that chunk on the copper floor, I would be totally okay with that. But it should definitely be a thing, right?
Yeah. Electricity does lose strength the further it goes. So only so many blocks would be affected. But the more lightning rods you have, the more room you can cover if the lightning hits that area.
Right.
Someone else brought up an idea for a witch farm, but using villagers. Just have a villager breeder feeding into a room and, have a lightning rod in there.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty good idea, except, it'd only be active during thunderstorms.
Yeah, it's a very creative idea, not a very efficient idea, but I kind of like the creativity over efficiency. It's a very cool idea. What else we got? I threw some notes down for you. Let's hit your notes.
Okay, my first note is the Warden size comparison. We got a picture up from kingbdogz.
Yeah.
He put a picture of the golem, iron golem, and the Warden next to each other. The Warden is so much bigger than the iron golem.
Yeah.
Just to give you a comparison. I came up with, you could probably evade it by doing the 2-block hide technique, hiding under a 2-block.
Unless it can reach you.
Yeah, we still don't know what its capabilities are. Looks like, I mentioned this in the tweet, that it looks like the iron golem's got a size or a reach advantage. We don't know that yet. Its arms are a little bit longer. But yeah, the Warden's massive.
I just had a crazy idea. Okay, so in those same group of kingbdogz tweets, right? He has one where the Warden is yelling at a bunny, right? Being totally mean to this bunny. Just screaming at it.
Yeah.
And you see these voice particles, is what I'm going to call them, or sound reverbs flying through the air. What if a Warden yells in a stalagmite cave and they start falling from the ceiling?
That would make sense.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll see if that happens.
You don't want to come across one in there.
No. Well, they can only, the deep dark is what they call it. They're only in there. But imagine if one were to have wandered up into one of those.
Yeah, exactly. If you're side by side, he happened to catch you in there. That would make sense. They're kind of just hanging there.
Yeah.
It would be cool if you had like a little shaking animation when they do yell because of the vibrations.
Oh, yeah. Well, I say that would be great, but I'm one of those that have to turn view bobbing off because of nauseousness. So maybe a tiny, tiny bit and not for very long.
Yeah, maybe you turn it off too.
That's true too.
Might be toggleable.
Anyways, I put another note for a skulk sensor.
Yes, small interesting tidbit. We made a design decision for skulk sensors. This is a tweet by kingbdogz. I believe it's a tweet.
Yes.
Okay. He said, we made a design decision for skulk sensors to not be affected by ambient weather like rain. My logic for this is habitation. Habitation. I said that right earlier. I read this earlier.
I was like, Jimbo, you know this word. I've heard you say this word.
I've never said that word, but habituation. Okay, I know what that means, but okay. My logic for this is habituation, where the skulk sensors essentially become used to the constant stimulus no longer registering it as a vibration.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that. I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, and their whole theory is back to this, like having natural events destroy something. And they don't want, the reason they don't have tornadoes in the game is because they don't want a non-player move to destroy builds, even though they had lightning destroying wool homes for years.
Yeah.
But you could always turn fire tick off, stuff like that. Now you have the lightning rod, so your wool roof is safe.
If you have a lightning rod.
Yeah. Now your skulk sensor will not go off when it rains and such. They also mentioned something about skulk sensors not setting off other skulk sensors, which I think is wrong because we saw in the 117 demo that that's how you do wireless redstone. That, or I read the tweet wrong, which could very well be a possibility.
I think you're right on that. Now we definitely got to double check it, but I might have read it wrong also. There's ways to stop the signal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can
dampen it with wool.
Yeah, so I don't see why they would take that out if there's ways around it.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they are.
Maybe. I don't know.
I saw a video Mumbo Jumbo was playing with the skulk sensors, and it was just a mod. Someone made it for him, so we don't know if that's exactly how it'll work. But it was definitely really cool to see it in action. A lot of stuff you can do with it.
Yeah, I'm sure pistons will have direct effects on them, and so I'm kind of curious on how wireless this redstone's going to really be.
Yeah.
Will you be able to shoot signals up? Because redstone up, I just punched the microphone, sorry. Redstone up and redstone down is generally one of the harder things to do room-wise when making redstone. It's not generally just one block up or whatever. It's generally 2 blocks up because you have to place a block and then a torch on top of that, and then a block on top of that torch. And so you have to count just right with that, or you have to do some kind of like offset random thing.
Or sticky piston, or
slime blocks
pushed up a redstone.
But then
block.
You can't have anything touching the slime blocks.
Right. You have to have unmovable objects around it.
So now if you can just build a tube directly up for a skulk sensor, that might be the new thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know what power strength they were to give off, if any. So
yeah. Or cause like a wave, like maybe the skulk sensors will go up and then come back down and then go back up and then come back down.
Right.
I guess you'd have to, maybe you think you'd have a piston block the signal, but that piston could signal another one.
Right.
So
yeah, we just don't know enough about them.
Definitely interested in how all that works. Saw a little bit, but not everything.
Mm-hmm.
These tweets help out a little bit.
Yeah. Speaking of which, there was a tweet from Henrik. He was working on his cave coding, it looked like, and he was mentioned that there were more cave variations coming.
Nice.
Or at least alluded to it. I should say alluded more. That way, in case it's not a guarantee, that they did have more cave variations in mind. But we know how that goes. They probably had 3 or 4 more nether biomes that just didn't make the cut. And that might happen with the cave. Maybe they have 9 cave variations, but only 3 of them were good enough to make the cut. So, won't guarantee anything. Just know that they've got some they're working on, whether or not they make it into the game or not. There's that. Yeah,
it'd be nice to minimize those large ones. Like, not make them smaller, but make them more rare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
For the fact that, if you were to base around that area, it's going to take a lot more work.
Mm-hmm.
A lot less clearing. It's pretty much cleared for you, but
yeah,
the lighting up and everything. Then again, like the cave update does kind of help out with spawns on the surface. You're going to get a lot more below.
Mm-hmm.
Won't be as dangerous. At least that's what you'd think in theory.
Do you think? Because mobs do choose to spawn lower in the world than higher.
Yeah, usually start from the bottom to the top.
And the last little bit of information we got came from the 117 recap. It was the axolotl. Looks like it will be coming in different colors.
Mm-hmm.
The design drawings showed it in this like pink, the bluish, and then a full-on yellow.
Yeah, it was a yellow.
There were some models with some brown ones and some full-on yellow ones again.
Now I had this theory, with the axolotl. I always thought it was like part salamander, part otter, part salamander. But what if, like, I've noticed, I saw that tweet, I saw the pictures, there was a brown one on top of a dirt block. And I was thinking, what if they can, like,
Change color?
change color on the
Yeah.
block that they're standing on? Maybe that's a thing.
Camouflage. I like it.
Yeah. That was pretty much the only one that you could notice that could be camouflage, though.
Yeah.
Maybe their natural color. They have different natural colors, but that brown one just seemed off.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, is he trying to camouflage himself into that block? That's what it seemed like to me. But maybe, maybe not. It'd be really cool, though.
After the 117 video, YouTube threw up a bunch of axolotl videos for me to watch. So I watched a kind of like interesting facts about them. So they regrow their limbs, even though I don't think Mojang will have you cut off limbs of this cute little creature.
Probably not.
Probably not. And that their bodies are mostly transparent. Like you can see their organs. So I don't think they'll put that in the game also, but something to think about.
They don't camouflage.
I didn't see anything about camouflage.
Ah, dang it. That would have been cool. They might do it. I don't know.
Yeah, they are super endangered and they are super cute. So let's try to save these creatures, guys. Just saying.
Yes. They are really cute. A lot cuter than the bees.
Well, I think that's going to do it for today. I'm coughing up a storm now. We still have a post show to get through. So before...
Where you cough.
Jeez, man. I don't know what happened. It's like all of a sudden. Anyways, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are aubni, Crock, ohbeep, StoneFigure, TheOfficialCCL, viperoustuna, YDYT, and, well, just YDYT. If you would like to, I can't even finish this. Jimbo, read us out.
If you like the show, you can share it with all your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer, Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be and edits out all of my coughs. The amazing music you hear in the intro and outro is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found down in the show notes. You guys have been awesome, as always. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye.
See you guys.